So, Hilary, you brought an article. I am ready to hear it.
I did. I brought something near and dear to my heart that's really kind of been hitting the mainstream for the last few years. We always talk about, you in particular, always talk about these really smart people. Joe, actually, you're one of them.
Two big heads sitting over there. Yeah.
But one of the things that I consider, and of course a lot of people consider, is more so about not the IQ, which is, of course, the intelligence factor, but the emotionally intelligence, the EQ. And that really is, to me, way more important in how we function. And I brought an article. I'm a voracious reader and, of course, a writer as well.
You actually turned me on to this book, and I read this book because of you. I could relate.
Good.
Yeah, so I can remember you and I having a conversation about this.
Yeah, back in the summer. So, yeah, I'm so glad you read it. It's really wonderful, and it's just chock full of really good information. Dr. Travis Bradberry, he's just one of my favorites. You can find him on LinkedIn. He's actually a New York Times bestseller list, and one of the things that he did is he kind of condensed one of a really good book into 8 habits of highly emotionally intelligent people. And there's really 2 primary competencies. There's a personal competency and a social competency. And for personal competence, really what that means is that you're really self-aware and you have self-management skills. Now, self-aware, of course, let's be honest, that's really easy, right? It's your way to personally perceive your own emotions and stay aware as they're happening, kind of being present, learning how to calm the chaos in your head and really slow down and think. And also self-management, well, that just says it all, right? It's managing your own emotions. And so the social competence, however, that's the personal, but the social competence is really your ability to understand other people and kind of the human behavior per se, kind of their motives and how you're going to respond effectively and the quality, because that's really going to dictate the quality of your relationships.
Well, and I think the word respond is powerful because too many people react.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is key, too, because and that goes right back to the self-awareness. And once again, it kind of piggybacks on knowing yourself and understanding yourself, understanding your we call it the SWOT, of course, in business, but, on a personal level, too, your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats, the things that derail you. So you have to be completely aware of those things. Some of the things that he talks about in the book are just extremely valuable, and I highly suggest you get it. But let's go and dive into the bullet points because, Joe is all about bullets.
That's why I love you. That's why I love you, honey.
I wouldn't deprive you of the bullet points.
I know that. But before we get in, I want to make sure I'm clear on this because this is something that I tell people. It's one of the things I do really well, right?
Yes, you do.
It's part of the negotiating that I do at the beginning of the process, which is to get to know the people I'm getting ready to work with.
Exactly.
And here's the key to that. And I wanted to see if you agreed with this statement, because it's what I believe, right?
Okay.
I'm writing my own book. I'll need Cherie to write it for me.
She can market this,
well,
right?
I'll need Cherie to write it, but no.
She ghostwrites, so we're okay. We're good.
What's happening is I have to know what you think of me. And once I know what you think of me, that starts to make our conversation much better, much easier. That seems to be the challenge for me. And again, I'm speaking in terms of negotiation on my part. That if I think what you're thinking of me, oh, look at that wonderful guy. Doesn't he smell wonderful, right? And really what you're thinking is, Joe could lose a few more pounds and he put way too much cologne on, right? So if I don't have that right, the conversation gets much more difficult to have.
I have to disagree a little bit here.
Me too.
Totally. And here's why. It's not about what people think of you. It's about what they think you're going to be able to do for them.
Yes.
And, I've said it before, Joe. It's not about you.
Right.
No,
are you sure?
So really,
I'm going to agree.
The most important thing is what what is it? What can you do for me? How are you going to help me? How are you going to help me get from where I am now to where I want to be? And whether it's employees, it really is about how are we serving others, and how are we serving it in a genuine, authentic,
transparent,
results-oriented, transparent way.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And your straightforwardness is actually excellent aspect of you.
Right.
Because, that is something, you do tell it like it is. And for what you do, that's absolutely imperative.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we're going to have an offline argument about this, ladies.
boy.
Because I'm telling you, in the context of negotiations, you have to know the other person, and you've got to know what they think of you.
No,
because
I'm not-
statements that come out of my mouth
that I do.
can be
No, we agree
interpreted
with
differently.
that.
We agree completely, wholeheartedly
With that, yeah.
that part. But the other, and actually, I think as we go through these bullet points, I think that you're going to find where that might kind of blow a little bit of the hole in what you're talking about.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
No,
I have no
no,
problem with you ladies proving me wrong.
No,
Let's go.
Like I said, no, I want to. You better ding that bell right now.
No. Oh!
It's time for a bell ring. No, but I want to reiterate. I agree with you on it's really,
Knowing the other person, absolutely.
knowing your audience is critical, and also. One of the things that you're very talented at is you're very genuine. You are who
Yes.
you are,
Yeah.
and that is very attractive, and that gives people comfort and definitely confidence in you.